Hey Douglas, just wanted to make a quick video response to your video blog for this week. I really liked your take on the social justice issue, and particularly looking at cultural humility, awareness, advocacy, and like I said, social justice, and how they kind of all play into each other. So I really like your view and how you chose to interpret this week's topic, specifically talking about how all these things build on one another, and that as a counselor, you can't necessarily just look at being culturally humble without also being aware of your own cultural biases, without also being aware of your client and their cultural influences and how they may be bringing that to the table. And furthermore, how you can't truly be an advocate unless you have for social justice, until you have a long and story basis on those two first things. So I think the way that you took it and saying, all these things build on one another, and that this is a process, not simply an end goal that we're trying to achieve, I think was very, very intelligent and very well put too. This is also echoed in a paper from 2017 by Mosher, Cultural Humility, a Therapeutic Framework to Engage Diverse Clients, and where basically he's saying that understanding and being culturally humble when you're working with clients is a way that allows us to offer help in a way that is not our own subjective framework and things that the way that we may view the world, but allows us to offer help and speak in the language, so to speak, of the client. And we may both be speaking English, the certain ways that they're looking at the world and their subjective framework is different than ours. So if we're not able to offer help outside of our own subjective framework, then it may not necessarily help them in the way that they need to, or allow them to achieve the kind of thought processes that they need to work through whatever it is that they're working through. So I thought that was very intelligent, echoed by some good academic papers as well. And furthermore, in Philippians, kind of going back on the biblical basis, in Philippians 2, in verses 3 and 4, it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others." So again, just looking at how on a biblical basis, from a counseling basis, from a culturally humility basis, and from a social justice basis, really they all echo the same thing, and that is to try to put others in front of yourself, be aware of what their cultural biases, their cultural influences may be, so that we can serve them in the best way that we can. And as counselors, of course, serving is being able to offer help in a way that makes sense to them and makes sense to their cultural worldview. So great video. I really like the way you put it, and I just want to hop on and agree with some of those things. So thanks so much, Alex Quintero, and I will see you guys next week.